survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
He posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says justice on it. and then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit. And then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't.
In just a few moments, folks,
but Jesus Christ, this is the greatest
up and live
thing I've ever
everyone
seen.
to join the call.
But
actually,
hey, it worked out in the long run.
I hope that I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. It's fucking trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
so follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking. This is
we actually
networking.
follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff. It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Prettier. This guy just say fucking forehead. What? This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. Weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad. What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why?
Why do people happy? KW, LOL W. XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a
No,
normal.
dude, we're gonna do a fatal 4-way poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking
God.
bits.
Damn it.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says "Justice" on it. And then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. F you.
Tony Brown, but who the f***'s in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't but Jesus Christ, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the pro wrestling injection right here on the Sports Hit. Not on the Sports Hit list. Fuck, wow, that's the first time in a long time I fucked that up. And so right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch, I am the Outlaw of Long Island. I'm here joined by the Goon Christian. Before we jump into news, people, if you guys have not watched Kenny Omega versus MJF from Collision, watch it. Holy shit,
Yep.
Watch that match.
Yep, excellent match. Just unbelievable match. It's completely well worth the time to go watch it. That whole Collision show is very good, but that match was outstanding. Great stuff on that Saturday. I was so happy that I delayed everything so I can go watch it because I was not missing that at all.
I had to watch that a day later because I was working Saturday. And what was supposed to be a 7 to midnight shift turned into a 7 to 1:30 shift. Because asshole kids like to order a lot of food. Leave it at that. But getting into the news, let's just kick it off with Jalistico has signed a contract with AEW.
Yeah, that was expected.
Oh, yeah,
he posted a video on Twitter. But yeah, LFI just came back at Collision. That was expected, and yeah, not really a shock there. It basically he's been a regular since LFI started, so
yeah,
just a matter of time.
And then yeah, so that's the first bit of news. I guess we'll save the Will Ospreay for last. The second bit of news is that per Fightful, I'm not subscribed to them, but the Wrestle Purist posted the article that was released, talking about how it says, and I quote, "As of now, Drew McIntyre has still not signed a new contract with WWE. There had been some Twitter rumors indicating he had resigned, but according to what he and WWE have told people, that's not true."
Yeah, so this
hey,
we already talked about this
when it was
like
first reported.
when it was first reported a couple months ago.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna be anything that is gonna be discussed in depth until
Until
probably
really after like the glass. No, after.
no, probably until early next year.
Well, there
'Cause
also wouldn't be signs
his
of
deal
it.
his deal is due
Yeah.
sometime early next year. So it's not really gonna play a role into anything
I think
when that happens. So yeah.
I think depending on how he looks this Saturday at Crown Jewel will be an indicator of where we're going.
I really don't think he's leaving. I think I mean, I really don't think he's leaving.
We said
I
the
mean,
same thing about Cody.
That's true, but I really don't think he's leaving. Number one, and number two, when we didn't actually know the details of his contractual status,
Yeah.
it was around like a little bit before Wembley. It was right around when Wembley got announced, and people thought he was going to show up there because that's when his deal was done, but it wasn't, and people already speculating that. Then he ended up coming back and doing the stuff he's doing now. But yeah, he's turning heel soon. They've been teasing that. That's most likely happening. But it's not really anything to look into now. It's an early next year decision, and we'll see what happens when we get there, because it's going to be a lot more clear, and probably depending on what happens with how he's booked or how things fall into place, then we'll see. But
it's like,
as of right now, he's not going nowhere.
It's like, don't get me wrong though. Even if he stays, like, hey, good for him. If he goes, hopefully he finds footing. Maybe he'll go back to Impact. Maybe he'll appear at AEW, because I would love to see Drew Galloway versus Kenny, Drew Galloway versus Brody King. I think like he has like, if he leaves, he has he has like a slurry of dream matches in any promotion he goes to. Hell, if he wants to, he can even try out for a G1.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. Just to me, I don't think he's leaving, especially with Triple H in power now.
Yeah.
If Vince was still there, then I would probably have a different opinion. But since Triple H is there, it's like this guy's gonna do right by him.
I see both sides of the coin. Like both, like you were saying, like he has the opportunities to do what he can in WWE with Triple H still under power, and he has a mountain of talent in anywhere else. Also, touch on a comment from Chris Lackler saying Julia Hart and Sky Blue story is getting interesting. Yes, we will get to that later in the show when we talk about that segment. But Christian, what is happening with Mr. Billiam Ospreay?
Just before we get to that, this is a breaking news from WrestleTix. If you're going to World's End, if you have any people watching going to World's End, the pre-sale code, not codes, but the pre-sale code is going to be posted tomorrow morning, hopefully. So tomorrow is the pre-sale. And keep your eyes on WrestleTix, and Mike Johnson of PW Insider usually post about it, so keep your eyes peeled if you're going to go to World's End.
Yes.
But anyway, Will Ospreay, this is an update. We talked about him last week, about his contractual status and how he is going to weigh his options when it comes to WWE and AEW and New Japan and what happens there. We had a report from Meltzer saying that AEW is probably the most likely landing place, but he's absolutely thinking about WWE.
and New Japan. Impact treated him very well, so that's also an option. And that's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh well, Ospreay said he would never go to WWE. Well, that was before he had a stepson and a girlfriend that is probably, I think, his fiance.
Yeah, but
And
does
Alex
he?
Windsor.
Yeah, but are they like? But does he still want to uproot and go to the States?
He does not want to live in America. That's the thing. He does not want to live in America. He wants to live in the UK. He's not gonna.
That's gonna be a
uproot his
hard
family.
pill for WWE to swallow.
His what? Not really, to be honest. Under Triple H, if you think Triple H won't make an exception for Will Ospreay, you're fucking out of your mind. And that's the other thing too. There was a report that's saying, I don't know how credible this was, that because NXT Europe was announced
Yes.
about a year and a half ago, and all the NXT UK guys ended up in regular NXT. I mean, Ilya Dragunov right now is the world champion. So, and that we have there is nothing, there has been no announcement, there's been nothing put into place for NXT Europe right now, and a lot of the NXT UK guys are getting moved to the main roster
also,
already.
like,
I mean, pretty Deadly's there, Pete Dunne, Rich Holland.
If we're being honest, like NXT UK killed the UK indie scene.
Well, I wouldn't say killed it. It completely, it very much harmed it in the beginning stages of when they did the UK tournament, and even before the start of NXT UK, because they raided everybody's fucking scene. When AEW started, it actually kind of softened the blow that it did, because a lot of people who were watching NXT UK just ended up watching AEW, and a lot of people just transitioned or just didn't have another time for a wrestling show, and NXT UK had to be cut out.
Yeah.
So that was the case there. But a lot of the NXT UK guys, how they were shifted over, we have nothing. We have no knowledge, and we have nothing, no sort of announcement or any indication that NXT Europe is anywhere close to being a thing so far. But there was saying that maybe if they sign Will Ospreay, then they would make NXT Europe and basically build the entire thing around Will Ospreay. Which, listen, now it's a great idea, because Will Ospreay is a guy you could build around. He's the greatest wrestler on the planet right now. But do you want this guy stuck in NXT Europe when you have probably the best wrestler in the world, when he should be utilized as one of your top guys on the main roster?
That's where I'm tossed, because you have him saying strictly, I do not want to move to the States, and then you have this opportunity for NXT Europe, and I don't think he wants to be in NXT because he has much talent on the main roster.
Again, it's like, it's not like he wouldn't be making main roster money. He absolutely would. He'd probably be making more so. He probably would get the Dragon Lee deal. Dragon Lee came in, he's got paid basically top main roster money, not top guy main roster money, but pretty good main roster money while he was in NXT. He was barely in NXT. He was in NXT less than the year. He's already called up. But Ospreay, he obviously doesn't want to live in America. His wife is an indie wrestler, Alex Windsor. She can't move there because that would hurt her career. And she has a young son. So that is a lot of things to weigh. But however, if and that's the same thing with AEW, because if he signs with AEW, he's going to have to do the same thing. He will have to work in the United States. But we already have a bunch of wrestlers in AEW that do the same thing. We have a Pac, we have Riho, we have Yuka Sakazaki, Kota Ibushi. These guys don't live in the United States currently. However, they're able to work and come in and out. And that's the thing about Ospreay. We did mention last week that he hired Barry Bloom, which is the agent of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, to be his agent and probably get him the best money that he could do. If I had to make a prediction right now, gun to head, I think he's going to end up in AEW, not because I'm sitting here as an AEW fan, but I think Tony Khan's going to fucking try to sell the house for him.
Oh, 100%.
I think Tony Khan has used Ospreay in various matches on his wrestling promotion.
And
he knows how great he is. He has a working relationship with New Japan, and that's the other thing. If Ospreay signs with WWE, he will not be able to do New Japan, and that's the thing as well. If he signs with AEW, he can have a working relationship with it. He can have a working relationship with AEW, New Japan, Impact. He could do the Indies if he wants to. He could do anything. Ospreay would be able to do anything he wants. He would have the same contract that
Everyone else.
Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, Jericho,
Yeah.
Moxley. Moxley shows up every fucking where. He's in GCW. He's in Impact. Not Impact. He's in GCW. He's in New Japan. He's in AEW. He does matches for Defy. He does shit in Wrestling Revolver in Ohio.
Well, he pops up on your random hole in the wall indies sometimes. too.
Yeah. And Ospreay would absolutely be able to do that if he signs with AEW. So, that's where it's gonna come down to.
Well, it's like I think when the reports came out that he had Barry Bloom as his like contract negotiator, WWE must have been like, "Fuck, God."
Well, no, not really.
Well, like,
probably because
cause,
they got to deal with agents all the time.
Well,
That's
but
that's having an
an agent who has pretty much got the most lucrative contract they probably have for the next like what 2-3 years with AEW.
Yeah, but it's not something that's uncommon that wrestlers in AEW or WWE or otherwise they have this, like, agents have guys all over the place. I mean, it's like an NFL team. If you ever watch an NFL draft and you see the guys surrounding them while they're about to get picks, or when they get picked, these agents have a guy going to the Titans, they have a guy going to the Ravens, they have a guy going to the fucking Texans. It's just how the agent world works. Agents like Barry Bloom aren't going to play to the side of, oh my God, I have to go get him on Team AEW. That's not how they get paid.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like how Barry Bloom's gonna be the person to make sure that like that Will gets the most money out of the company.
And that's the thing. Will Ospreay is worth that money, and the other thing is WWE has that money, and the other thing as well is Tony Khan has that money. So it's something to look out for. We're not going to be needing to really dive that much deep into this until February, because that's when the deal is up. But it's something to think about. It's only going to get more hot and heavy because we have a bidding war of 2024 with MJF, which is kind of a gimmick now. But this one is actually probably the real bidding war of 2024, and it's for Will Ospreay. So
100%.
That's the update on Will Ospreay, and we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I think that is it for the news. Besides the announcement that happened on Dynamite that we'll get into.
Yeah, that's really much. Just checking here. That's really everything that is going down. The only other thing here is that New Japan Power Struggle is coming up. I believe, when is that? November 4th, and the big match there that just got confirmed today is Shota Umino versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP United Kingdom / United States Championship. So that's going to be very good.
I'm trying to skim. Okay, yeah, there's nothing else. All right. So, we're getting into Dynamite right now. We kick off with a video package from last week, along with a recap of the Kenny Omega MJF match. Once again, I cannot reiterate enough. If you can, find it and watch it.
Yep.
You will not be disappointed. We opened the show with Renee. Well, we opened before the opener of the show with Renee and MJF. And Renee just asking, hey, like, are you going to be able to like find someone? Then he goes like, oh, I got words of encouragement via satellite video call. Adam Cole was there. Just saying that like if he was there, he'd be helping out MJF tonight.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Then in comes Roddy.
Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to Matt Taven with the sweatshirt, the giraffe sweatshirt with the giraffe. So yeah,
really leaning into
MJF,
this thing.
MJF walks off, and basically Roddy's like, "Can you believe MJF didn't pick us as your partner?" And then
He
Adam
also
just
left mid sentence too.
yeah, he cut the FaceTime off. He just cut him off, and fucking after that, the devil appeared again. And I just want to speak about the devil real quick because there's a lot of shit going down, a lot of talk over the week.
It's interesting talk.
And there was a couple names floating around. People were saying Britt Baker. Yeah, right.
Well, because the first one had a very feminine figure. That was why.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Let's be honest. That the first one had a feminine figure.
No, because that's stupid. That would be fucking stupid because MJF can't fight her, and that's dumb. But the devil. The devil is somebody that MJF has to wrestle. I mean, what is this?
Well, it could be someone who is helping him or someone who is going to eventually stab him in the back. We don't know. The rabbit hole is so fucking insane.
It would be fucking stupid if it's somebody he can't get his hands on, or Jay White can't get his hands on. So there was talk about that, but there was talk about a certain guy that I actually heard about. My mom was actually saw a report about it, not a report, but like a speculation about it, like 2 weeks ago before people really started talking about it. But yeah, a lot of people were throwing around Jack Perry, and I thought that was actually very interesting because number one, Jack Perry obviously hasn't been around since Wembley.
Apparently, his suspension is up though. From what I've heard.
Well, yeah, it was listed as an indefinite suspension, so it was just whenever they wanted to lift it. But that's the thing about Jack Perry. When they had the Four Pillars feud back in the Double or Nothing cycle, the first promo of when they were all in the four corners and they were all cutting their promos on each other, MJF, and even just during the whole feud, that MJF kept trying to like recruit Jungle Boy or like try to say, "Hey Jack, if you actually took after me, we could run this." He said verbatim, if you really took after me, we could run this place, me and you. So I think Jack Perry is actually a very, very viable person for it to be where pretty shortly after the Pillars feud is when Jack turned heel, and he's a heel now. He could probably say, "Hey, Max was right. I should take after him and be an asshole." Max is a babyface. You could get another match between Jack Perry and MJF.
He could even be like Max and Christian were right. I should have done this a long time ago.
They could do that, and Jack is a smaller guy, obviously, and it's like he would be a cowardly heel, and he would probably surround himself with names and heavies.
Oh, 100%.
So it's something really I think that is more likely than I think he's one of the top names.
I know we have I know we keep throwing this idea away. Like Jack Perry needs to surround himself with names and heavies. Why not also for a heater, big guy, muscle, throw in Wardlow? I know I know what Wardlow should be on his own right now, but I think this is a good step.
Yeah, maybe I just don't. I'm not really too fond of it because.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm not really too fond of it because it's just back where he started, and
yeah,
they did so much work to get him out of there. He's just gonna end up right behind another guy that's more important than him, and and I don't think that would be very wise.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do think Jack Perry is a viable option to be the devil. Obviously, there's the Adam Cole factor, and they could delay it until whenever he's better,
which is a possibility too. But then, then that's weird to write it. Like, how is he? Like, how is he doing it when he's clearly injured still? Is he?
Well, sure, but you gotta remember this soul started because this was probably pushed up because Adam Cole got hurt, and they probably they shot. The reason I think Jay White is even getting this match is
Because
at the pay per view. I think I think this might have happened at World's End. They probably pushed this up a month, where they had to reroute. But
you see, but it's clearly going to be Joe and MJF at World's End.
I don't think that's clear at all.
Well, it's
because that's not because I don't think that's clear at all, because number one, that would be back-to-back main events with MJF and Samoa Joe in the New York tri-state area at Long Island. Number two, I think that would be too quick of a turnaround. You could still tease it and get something out of it later.
Well, because if they're clearly going for this pseudo, at the strike of midnight, my contract ends with AEW, and I will leave AEW with the world title.
Well,
if they're clearly going that angle, which it seems like they're going to go that angle towards the end.
Well, I actually don't think that, because how much of a babyface? Because MJF is the biggest babyface in the company right now, and yes, he's been talking about the bidding war for 2024, and he actually mentioned it after his match with Kenny Omega when they went off there and stuff like that.
Even still, going into that, because it's the parallels, and I hate bringing this guy up nowadays because it sparks like conversations out the ass. But with Punk, Punk going into his final match was in his hometown. He was the face going in. The crowd was hot for him.
Sure, in his hometown.
But then you also got the hometown.
I'm just saying MJF's a face everywhere.
No, but even so, going into that, Punk was that pipe bomb was the face turn for him. People were cheering for him.
For a section of fans. There's still people that like John Cena at the time. But that's the one thing too.
But I think what we're gonna get is
I don't think they're gonna dive as deep as they probably were when they originally started pitching the bidding war shit, because Max is now the hottest babyface in the company, and Max, realistically, to a lot of people, probably don't think he's gonna leave, and think he's already signed something. But that's only a subsection of fans. But when I'm saying I don't think they're gonna go full. I don't think they're gonna go fully into it, because I don't think they expected to be where they are right now. I fully expected at the beginning of when they started the bidding war shit that MJF was still gonna be a heel, and I think.
Well, I think
now
if it wasn't for MJF's own pipe bomb at the Kia Forum, 2 years ago now.
I don't even think it was that far. I think I'm saying I don't think that is when shit turned. I think what Adam Cole and MJF getting over, they did, and how gigantic that became, I think that completely changed everything. Because how many discussions did we have 4 fucking weeks in a row? All right, this is when they're gonna break it up. This is when they couldn't do it. They didn't even. People thought, oh, Wembley, this is it. They didn't do it because it's too big. It was too big. You can't do that. That would be bad business.
There also was me getting worried about how this can go stale. If
and it has.
It has, thankfully, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. I just think that going into this, I think it's gonna be a similar situation with even though MJF's the face, 100% the face going into almost every match he's going into. I think in this case he even this is another.
That's the one thing though that is different to me about this. When people bring up the Punk Money in the Bank match with Cena, first of all, why would the AEW fans cheer MJF leaving? This isn't WWE where it's the biggest company in the world and holy shit, CM Punk could show up in New Japan, he could show up in Ring of Honor with the WWE Championship. He's gonna stick it to Vince McMahon. That's not the world we live in right now. A lot of the AEW fan base like AEW because it's not WWE. Why would they cheer for MJF saying, "Oh, I'm leaving, I'm going to WWE"? Because where else is he gonna go? Why? I mean, that to me just doesn't make sense.
I see
Because
that.
you have a count because you have a counter brand with a counter fan base that if a lot of people in the AEW fans do not watch WWE. They watch AEW because they don't want to watch WWE. There's people like me who watch both and enjoy both. But would you cheer MJ? Would you cheer MJF as the world champion leaving and going to WWE with the AEW World Championship? That just doesn't make any sense.
There's probably a small subset of fans that would.
That just doesn't make any logical sense at all. So I think that angle is completely out the window. I don't think. Well, I'm not saying it's completely out the window. I think that's for the most part, it's out the window. It'll be acknowledged. It'll be alluded to, but it's not going to be the focal point of the story, especially depending on who he wrestles at World's End. If it's Samoa Joe, if it's Wardlow, if it's somebody else, if it's fucking a multi-man match, we don't know. If it's Roddy, if it's Jay White again, we don't know.
Depending on the extent of Adam's injury, do you think he could come back around World's End?
No, absolutely not. This is a real injury.
Well, no, I'm saying the extent of it. If it's like very severe. I'm not saying
he's not. We're not seeing Adam Cole again until next spring, summer. It's the copium is dried up. He's not going to be around. It's a real deal injury.
I know it's a real deal. I'm not saying it's a fake injury. I'm saying just the overall
he's not coming back at all. He needs surgery. He needs another surgery after all his shit is healed. He needs another one.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he got surgery, and then he got he got one or two surgeries, and then when the everything else heals, he has to get one more surgery. So no, he's not coming back, and it sucks because he would have been very, very prominent in this story. And that's the other thing too. People thinking, oh, this is all a work, or he shouldn't be. He's not actually that hurt. Then he is, because why wouldn't you put him on TV and bring him back? The reason he hasn't been at television, and the reason he's fucking calling in via video chat, is because he can't go. Why is Britt Baker off television? Because she's there helping him. That's sacrificing a lot of shit that they probably don't want to sacrifice. He's hurt. He's not going to be around for a long time, and that's just how it is. It's wrestling. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks. But this is what we have to go on. And he's not going to be around. I don't doubt we'll see him on television again, but he will not be in a physical role or a physical capacity. It's just how it's going to be.
All right. We talked about this first segment for so long.
Yeah, but anyway, we had after this, we had the international title match between Claudio Castagnoli,
beautiful match,
and Orange Cassidy. Claudio, I fucking had to look twice of what the fuck he was wearing. And so the newest Blackpool Combat Club shirt is some shit out of fucking.
I have a feeling
happy,
it's going towards some. It's going towards some
happy. It's fucking Happy Tree Friends.
I think it's going towards some charity. I feel. Let me look it up.
I really don't think so. I think it's just a design. I think it's just a new Blackpool Combat Club design. But
yeah, it's a bunny holding a bloody baseball bat. And the bunny looks like it has the bunny has a concussion.
Yeah, it's a Happy Tree Friends type shit.
And it says "Be violent."
Yeah.
Also, Daniel Garcia has a good shirt out too. Speaking of Blackpool Combat Club, has it been reported whether or not the orbital bone thing for Brian is real or not?
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, I did not know that.
Surgery. He needs surgery. He needs surgery. It did not happen last week. It happened in the Andrade match, but he was able to wrestle. And God bless him, but he was able to wrestle the tag match last week, and that's when they just shot the angle for it. It happened in Andrade.
I did not know that. That's why I was want to.
Yeah. So
clarify, I didn't see Sean Ross Sapp or Purist talk about it.
Yeah, he's gonna be back probably by the end. They're saying hopefully by the end of the year, so probably around World's End. But yeah, that is a real injury.
The injury curse is striking again.
Yep. So yeah, but we have Claudio and Orange here. This is a very, very good match.
Mm-hmm.
It really got going. I really liked the counter where Claudio countered the stun dog into the giant swing. That was a great spot.
Oh yeah.
And then I love the spot where Claudio was extremely aggressive because he cut a video package on Collision, basically calling out Orange, and he called out Okada, teasing that him and Okada are gonna have a singles match eventually. Not at Wrestle Kingdom, but eventually. That would be very cool if it was at World's End. But I don't know if the Road to Tokyo Dome shows starts around then, but because I know they don't want a lot of their guys doing big shit before the Tokyo Dome. But we'll see how that pans out, which that would be amazing if it did. But yeah, Claudio was in there. He even tried for a Rainmaker in the match. He tried hitting a Rainmaker on Orange Cassidy. But the finish of the match came from Orange. He countered a pop-up uppercut to a roll-up, and he pinned Claudio to retain the international title. He was dejected, Claudio, and then here comes Jon Moxley. He came in, he beat the dog shit out of Orange Cassidy. He just beat this guy down. He was throwing away security. He was beating this guy down. So they were really teasing that this guy's going to get another match. And it did get confirmed later on that we were getting Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley 2 at Full Gear. So that was expected when they were going to do that match again, because they've been building it up for a couple weeks now. So yeah, very good stuff to start the show. MJF, we got shown on the back with his list of the roster, trying to get some partners, and he knocks on the door of Kenny Omega. And who answers the door but not Kenny Omega, but another Winnipeg native, and that is Chris Jericho. And they stare at each other, and
he goes, "Is Kenny there?"
Yeah, and then Jericho just slams the door in his face, saying, basically, nope.
Which also, like, that definitely is going to tie into the Chris Jericho backstage segment post tag team match.
Yeah. So, and after that, Wardlow showed up as MJF was walking away. He pushed MJF against the wall, and he basically said, "I'm gonna make your life a living hell, and you're never gonna see it coming." So they're teasing. He's choking MJF against the wall, and MJF. I mean, he's fearful, but they're teasing us because it's not gonna happen right away. Him and Wardlow isn't gonna happen for a little bit, but he's saying, just when you least expect it, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. So I think it's gonna be a while before we get this, and then when MJF thinks he's defeated all his challenges and gotten through everything, all his adversity, here's Wardlow.
Imagine Wardlow wins like the Face of the Revolution ladder match.
No, because he already did it.
I mean, whichever one certifies them to get a title, like a world title match.
And there isn't one of those.
I thought like one of them was.
They did it once 2 years ago. It was the one where Hangman won and set up the match. That they don't really do those often. The only one they ever did was the Hangman one, and the other rest were for the TNT title.
All right, figured I just put that out in the ether because you never know.
Anyway, after this we had the 6-man trios match between for the Ring of Honor 6-man championships between the Gates of Agony, the Mogul Embassy's Gates of Agony, and Brian Cage.
After that we had Mox.
Oh yes.
That's when
Mox
he made the match.
Yeah, he basically called, basically saying, "Listen, first time I gave you respect. This time I'm not fucking doing none of that." And he just says basically he's just gonna go kill Orange Cassidy at Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, we had the Mogul Embassy's Gates of Agony and Brian Cage versus the Elite, Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks, and yeah, they were defending their title. This is a pretty good match. Didn't really get.
Out of first gear, to be honest.
Well, no. I'm saying it didn't really get. Because I'm not saying because the match was good. The match was very, very good, but I'm saying it didn't really get to the spot where they were gonna do a lot because obviously they had an angle to shoot.
Yeah.
Because first of all, this match already happened on Rampage when they won the titles at Arthur Ashe. But so they're obviously. I mean, this was obviously an angle match. They did enough. What they did there was great. But yeah, they did enough. And then Swerve, you hear Swerve just keep going. Whose house? Whose house? Here comes Nana and Swerve. Hangman is about to hit the buckshot. He's fucking. He's apoplectic. Uh, he's looking at these guys, and he tags into Matt Jackson, and he starts going after Swerve and Nana. He leaves the match. The Young Bucks are left to fight for themselves. They got their ass handed to them, and the Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony regain the Ring of Honor 6-man championship. Because I was actually surprised by this, because I thought they would have used the Bucks and Hangman for at least one Ring of Honor pay-per-view. But nope. They retained the title, but it was all for story purposes. After the match, Matt was fucking pissed. He was ripping the table apart. He was smashing the ring post with a chair. They cut to the back, and Hangman and Swerve are fighting. They're yelling at each other. Hangman's yelling,
guard's dead.
Yeah, Hangman's yelling at him that he's gonna kill him. He's saying, "I'll kill you. I'll kill you." I mean, obviously, Swerve broke into his house and fucked with his child.
Yeah.
Last week. So obviously, it's justified. So anyway, that was pretty good.
After that, we have more MJF backstage trying to find people. He's about to, so we open on him in front of Samoa Joe's door. He's about to knock on it. He says no, walks away. He's about to go up to Darby Allin's door, knock on it. He stops. He goes, nah, has a marker in his pocket, pulls it out, X's out his name, slaps the sign back on the door, and it reads, Emo Bitch. And then as MJF turns the corner, who's there again? It's the Acclaimed. Hold up a sign saying, Pig House Max. And I was hoping for Darby to answer the door, see the Acclaimed standing there and read his sign. He'd be like, did you guys write that? But no, after that we go now to we go back to the ring.
We got to the ring with Tony Schiavone. We had Adam Copeland. Cut a promo. He was getting ready. He barely got through his promo when Christian Cage came out with Nick Wayne.
This man gets a pop every time his music hits.
Yeah, so he comes out and he's saying, you know what? If you know what's good for you, Adam, you'll back down from me, or else I'm gonna snap your neck. And he says he's gonna snap his neck. He's gonna leave him in a wheelchair. Have his daughters wipe the drool from his mouth. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And
Daddy, you used to be somebody.
Yeah, and he's basically said, let's get a preview of that right now. So he sent Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne in to go attack him. They're fighting. But here comes Sting and Darby Allin. They fight off.
I want to mention how everyone's taking shots to just punching Nick Wayne in the face. And I'm like, oh my, he just got that tooth repaired. Everyone just taking shots right to him.
Yeah, so it's Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus, they get fought off. Christian gets in the ring and he has his back turned. But as he has his back turned, Edge is getting ready. He's getting ready to spear him. Well, they try to do a concerto on Edge on
Sting and Darby
before that, but then Sting and Darby made the save. And then fucking as his back is turned, Christian's back is turned. Adam Copeland is fucking getting ready. He's getting ready in the corner. He's getting fucking psyched up, and he finally does it. He spears Christian Cage.
I was kind of hoping
he accepts Sting and Darby Allin's invitation for them to tag with him at Full Gear, and the match has been confirmed. It's going to be Sting, Darby, and Adam Copeland versus Nick Wayne, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage.
Gonna be honest, I kind of wish they did what you pitched last week, which was don't have him and have Adam and Christian touch until that pay-per-view.
Well, it wasn't like have them touch, but it's like in that match,
Adam
in that match, have him tag out where have Adam tag out every time Christian gets in the ring, and it builds up to the point in the match where he has no choice, but
Yeah.
they both get the hot tag and he has to
Yeah.
fight him. But I get it here because it was literally the same thing, but through an angle. So I have no problem with it, and plus it's not gonna. It's probably just gonna make the match better.
Yeah.
Where there's no standoffs. But yeah.
After
So yeah, pretty good stuff
after
there.
that, we go back. Well, we get we're about to get the announcement from Tony Khan. Then as soon as I saw Nigel with him, I was like, okay.
Yeah. As soon as I saw Nigel,
All in
I was
3.
well, not what? No.
Well,
I'm saying
AEW all in 2, but all
yeah.
in 3 overall.
As soon as I saw Nigel, I was either okay, this is something about Wembley, or they're doing a UK tour.
As soon as I saw Nigel, I knew it was going to be all in. I have a feeling.
Yeah. So they announced the big announcement today. Was that tickets for All in Wembley 2 will be going on sale December 1st, and I think that's smart because number one, they're gonna have a hard time getting as many people as last time because the law of diminishing returns, and the first one was a spectacle, so it was something to be a part of. So getting it for one time is hard. Getting it a second time is a lot harder. So I think
100%.
opening up tickets now is very smart because, and then it gives international fans like in the United States and other places time to think about it and time to make travel arrangements now, because that's a very hard thing to do, travel internationally. And because I think, what was the turnaround when Wembley was first announced? 4 or 5 months.
What, their first?
We went to that show in what, April, May?
Yeah,
and
April.
That show was in August.
Then.
Yeah. So it was just there was a couple of months. So
and they sold like 10,000 tickets the first pre-sale.
No, I think they did more than that. But yeah, it's going to be a lot harder. So I think opening up earlier is a wise decision.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was the announcement.
It also gives people time to decide as well, thinking of the storylines going forward to the matches set in stone on where things could be going. Because sometimes you can tell ahead of time where AEW stories are leading to.
Oh, by the way, pre-sale begins for World's End on 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
10 a.m. tomorrow. Hopefully, the account, WrestleTix. Sorry, my brain is firing on all cylinders trying to get
my ass.
But
bought my mom a washing machine for her birthday, and the box was fucked up. So I told the motherfucker on Amazon, "Hey, I want a refund." So I basically got a free $200 washing machine.
Hell yeah!
Which wasn't even broken.
But the box was fucked up.
The box was fucked up. The shit wasn't broken.
But it was just in case.
It was just in case. So I have a free washing machine and $200 back. So that's going to be going to here.
Yeah, depending on how much time. I think, like, knowing how AEW ticket prices are, like the first, like the 200 levels are going to be like.
I don't know. This is their first. I don't know, because this is their first time in Nassau Coliseum. It's a bigger venue, and they just ran fucking Arthur Ashe with astronomical prices that were very, very.
I got good prices on my tickets.
When did you buy them?
As soon as pre-sale happened.
Okay, because my tickets were fucking out of control.
My tickets were like $54 each.
Yeah, mine was not that.
That's because you got That's because you got like the double-digit level. Versus
that's the thing,
because Nick and Mike were.
I don't go to shows, because if I would go to a show, it's like I just want to I'll blow out the shit for the show. Like, I don't go to shows much, so it's like if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go try to get good seats. I'll spend the money.
Yeah.
But like if like Nick, for example, he goes to a lot of shows, so it's like him sitting like in like
the nosebleeds or
good seats, and then the nosebleeds, like that's like that's something that he does.
Even at Arthur Ashe, the seats that me, Nick, and Mike had were pretty much all in the same area. They were amazing seats.
No, yeah, that's the type of seats I had for the first one. But a little bit to the more to the right. But yeah, if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna try to go hard because I don't really buy stuff for myself anyway.
For me, and for this case, I'm just gonna go the cheapest seats that I get, and then go from there. Put in for the days. And, yeah.
I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna try to get what I got. I always try to just get dead hard cam center like that. I'm not one of these fucking losers who tries to get on TV. I'm just trying to just have a good seat.
If you end up on TV, you end up on TV.
If I end up on TV, I'm not gonna act like a fucking jabron, and I'm not gonna be like one of these grown ass fucking adults bringing a sign to the show and saying it's my 57th birthday. Oh yeah, then go file for AARP, asshole. The fuck is wrong with you at a wrestling show with a goddamn sign that says, "Hey, it's my 58th birthday."
Well, because
hey, it's my first WWE show. I don't give a fuck.
Well, hey,
I don't give a shit.
He just wants Dasha, or he just wants Justin Roberts to read it.
Well, that's fucking fantastic. But here's the thing: some poor fuck is gonna be sitting behind you, and with your sign up that says, "Oh, hey, I'm at a wrestling show and I can't control myself like a functioning adult."
The last time I brought a sign to a wrestling show was my very first show.
The last time I brought a sign to a wrestling show I was 9 years old. I'm an adult now.
I in 2013 was my first show. And it was a house show, so there was no fucking
yeah. So
TV.
Same with me. But here's the thing: we were prepubescent fucks. These are grown ass adults that are filing taxes.
Yeah, but how about the ones that talk about video games?
Fuck
like
them
the
too.
Chrono Trigger.
No, because
Sunshine.
because half the time those people bring the most retarded fucking opinions and takes that I've ever seen. So
you're not wrong. You're
I'm
absolutely not wrong, and
I'll never forget as long as I live. It's my favorite fucking thing I've ever seen at a wrestling show. Fucking second time Arthur Ashe. This stupid fuck that dresses up at Orange Cassidy's in the front row every single time. He has an Orange Cassidy sign, and on the other side it says it's his birthday. It's two years in a row. He did it at the last one, he did it at the second one. But it was the second one where this incident happened. And he said, "It's my birthday." He had a sign that said, "It's my birthday." But he was showing the other side to the camera.
Oh, yeah.
And we couldn't see shit.
Fuck your birthday.
And we fucking all started chanting, "Fuck your birthday." Then he turned around. We all started giving the finger, go, "Fuck your birthday." It was only our section. It was my favorite thing I've ever done because guess what? Fuck that guy's birthday. That doesn't do anything for me. I don't give a fuck about your birthday. You're a grown-ass adult dressed as Orange Cassidy here with the goddamn sign when you're in the front row.
To be honest, you're right. And also, I want to mention this. I'm not sure if you saw it. At Arthur Ashe, someone had a fucking sheet-up body pillowcase.
Yeah, well,
everyone in my section, we were like, "What the fuck is that?" We're like, and I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't in that section because I might have been spending a night in jail.
Well, no. Okay, that was front row. It was front row. Someone had it. Hard cam.
Yeah.
It was a hard cam. Someone had it on hard cam side.
Tommy's got money, so.
But I saw that. Everyone in my section was like, "That guy's fucked."
Moral of the story, and just please, if you're over the age of 10 years old, please do not bring a goddamn sign to a wrestling show, or just a sign. Or just don't bring a sign, but just don't bring a sign. Especially, just do not bring a sign that is saying, "It's my first WWE or whatever company show. It's my first WWE, my first AEW show," because I don't give a fuck. Or if it's my 64th birthday, because that's also I don't give a fuck. And the other thing is, if you're going to bring a sign, make it either. There's three conditions: either make it funny, either make it something that is actually worth a damn, or make it something that is going to be taken away, so we can look at it and laugh at it. So that's just that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic with Jake Hager. They came out here to wrestle the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega.
What a
Nothing
name.
really to talk about here. Kenny and Jericho mopped the floor with them as expected. Don Callis was on commentary with Konosuke Takeshita. Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kyle Fletcher. If you didn't watch Rampage, Kyle, I wish they showed a recap here, but Kyle Fletcher officially did join the Don Callis family. He had an excellent match. This was another match that kind of got lost in the radar because of MJF and Kenny Omega. But you do need to go back and watch the Rampage match between Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. They had an incredible match.
Right.
It was an excellent match. And Kyle officially was invited to join the Don Callis family because after the match he was going to hit Takeshita with a chair. But Don Callis like, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted to see. This is that viciousness. This is that violence that we want. So Kyle officially joined. I mean, I really expected him to join because they need a tag team.
Yeah.
Also, he's in with Ospreay, and when Davis comes back, he'll probably end up with them too. There's no chance they're breaking up Aussie Open. So there's that. But yeah, after the match, Callis comes down with the rest of the boys and challenges them to a street fight.
Don't forget he called them a bunch of dummies.
He challenged them to a street fight in L.A. And
Not
I think
at
that's
Full Gear.
I think it's the go home show, which I think that's going to set up a couple matches for Full Gear, because and it's going to be a 4-on-4 because even commentary said you got to remember Sammy Guevara, because he's been dealing with a concussion and he'll be back. That I don't know, because that's going to be cutting it real close if Ty doesn't have his kid yet.
I think what they're going to do is if in this regard, if she has the kid, he'll just have this one match to get written off, or if she doesn't have the kid, he'll have this one match and then get written off again.
It's either that, or if she does have the kid, they could just hopefully call Ospreay and see if he's available. But it's gonna be 4-on-4. It's gonna be Powerhouse Hobbs, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Sammy Guevara versus Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Kota Ibushi, and Jericho alluded to it last week, but that he has a friend bigger than Hobbs, and that is Paul White, which I think I said on the show last week because that's what I expected it to be.
Don't remember. I thought
it was going to be either him or Mark. I thought it was literally going to be either him or Mark Henry, because and that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of people are going to get on this about Paul White, and would it be my choice to have Paul White in this? No. But however, Paul White has gone into saying he wants to do at least like maybe 2 or a couple more matches just to retire on his own terms.
I know, and he wants to do a Captain Insano match. I know that. Yeah,
and if he wants to retire on his own terms, I have nothing but respect for that. And I have no problem with him wanting to retire, because as a wrestler, it's extremely rare to be able to retire on your own terms and go out the way you want to. So I have no problem with him retiring on his own terms. Yes, would I rather see somebody else? Obviously. But if he wants to retire on his own terms, then so be it. But the thing a lot of people aren't thinking about here, and what it gave me and a lot of other people a conniption a couple years ago, is that there's going to be a tag team with Kota Ibushi and the fucking Big Show. So that just doesn't make sense to me. That just does not compute to me. When we look back on the annals of the history books, I'm like, oh wow, Kota. That's going to be a trivia question. Kota Ibushi tagged with the Big Show. I'm like, okay, all right.
It's going to be like, which WWE Hall of Famer is Big Show in the Hall of Fame? Or Paul White in the? He
will be soon. Whenever he retires. He will be, because it's not like that's the thing about that too. I actually want to pay mention to that. In this Triple H era, there's going to be shit between him and AEW, but guys like Big Show and Jericho and Billy Gunn,
Mark Henry's
already in.
Okay. Yes. Would you even put Shivani in because the WCW stuff?
He never worked for WWE.
Taz, then maybe.
Well, yeah, Taz is definitely. Taz, Jim Ross. Oh wait, Jim Ross is in, right? Yeah, I think he's in.
I'll look up.
I believe he's in. But yeah, guys like that. They will be inducted regardless of AEW as well. There's inducted
in 2007. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no way like guys like Jericho and Big Show and Billy Gunn who's already in with DX, Billy Gunn, even
Yeah.
after AEW started, when Triple H called it the Pissant Company. Those
Jeff
guys,
Jarrett too would get.
Jeff Jarrett, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy,
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, all these guys are going in, and even if they're still with AEW, they will still be going in.
I still, even though like the WWE Hall of Fame is like a very
Edge,
like.
Well, he already went. Christian.
I think pro wrestling should just have a Hall of Fame overall.
Well, they do. It's just not. It's
just recognized.
It's not recognized. There's actually multiple of them.
But I'm saying no, but like an encumbrance that everyone can get behind, everyone can be happy with.
Yeah, they're not going to do that because the only one who's going to be recognized is WWE unless AEW starts their own.
Which I thought that's what the Sting gift was going to be, that like they're going to induct him into the first ever AEW Hall of Fame.
Nah.
But
anyway,
yeah.
So we got that match set up. After this, we had
it was backstage.
Yep.
Because we cut to commercial. It was backstage with the Bucks, Kenny and Chris. Renee says, "Hey, thank you, Jericho, for letting us into your locker room. It's not his locker room.
It's the Elite's locker room, and
yeah."
And basically, he's just saying, he's talking about the Don Callis family, how the Golden Jets and Ibushi and Paul White are gonna destroy them. But Matt comes over and says, "Hey, listen, when was it decided that we were gonna let this scumbag into our locker room after what he did to our father? Because if you remember, early in AEW, Chris Jericho did beat up and bloody up
both Nick and Nick's dad and their dad
and their dad." That was pre-pandemic, so like that was like the build for the original Blood and Guts.
That was the show before the pandemic, I believe, too.
It was either that or a couple, because Nick.
No,
I remember Nick.
Nick was first. I think the one where they attacked their dad was
legit
just before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was one of them. Nick went away because he was having another kid. I do remember that, and that was the build to the original Blood and Guts that ended up not happening because of the pandemic hitting.
And we kind of got it in some regards.
Right? Well, not really at all. It was that turned into this stadium stampede, kinda. We didn't get it at all because Cody was in it. It was supposed to be Kenny, Matt, Cody, and Matt Hardy versus the Inner Circle. Because Nick wasn't going to be there because Nick was on maternity leave. But
Nick came back for it.
Yeah, but the pandemic happened, everything got fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matt is drilling Kenny, and he's like, "I don't care about Hangman. I don't care about this. I care about us right now." And
this guy's gonna stab you in the back because him and Don are cuffing the same cloth.
Yeah, so they walk out. He's like, "Enjoy your locker room." So they're not
clean up the
happy
mess before you leave.
Yeah. They're not happy with Kenny and stuff, and I do think this is the start of the Bucks going heel again. Because
I don't mind that. I loved heel Bucks.
I think the Young Bucks are one of those teams, one of those people that are 10 times better as a heel than a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
But people are forgetting this. They have a guaranteed match. They have a guaranteed AEW title match. Tag title match.
Do you think they would put the titles on Kenny?
That they won at Wrestle Dream, but I don't think they're gonna be wrestling Starks and Big Bill. I think they're gonna wait until whoever gets it back. Probably gonna be FTR again, and I think they'll do FTR and the Bucks again. But I think they're gonna wait until they wait to cash in on that title match until the belts are back on a babyface tag team. Which I think presumably will be FTR, because I don't think it was supposed to come off of them anyway.
Yeah, because I think
Ash got hurt.
Yeah, Dax had the colonoscopy recently.
Well, that wouldn't have done anything. It was just Cash's ribs that were fearing that was a major injury, which actually turned out, thankfully, to not be. But
yeah.
But anyway, after this we had Willow Nightingale and Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title. This is a pretty good match. Willow's eye has completely cleared up
So she had like Little House of Black Eye for a little bit, but she doesn't have it anymore. Sky Blue really does have it. But yeah, but this is a pretty good match. Obviously, Willow and Sheeta are two of the better women on the roster.
Yeah.
So I thought this was pretty good. Sheeta beat Willow fair and square with the katana. And after the match, uh, fucking Tony Storm, Timeless, Tony Storm and Luther came out, and Sheeta was not having this shit because this was the fucking third time this has happened to her. She goes and attacks Tony in black and white.
What's so funny is the same thing that happened to Mason Man Stewart happened to Luther when Sheeta knocked the pillow and it went into the crowd with the shoe.
Yeah, so she blew
Security
right past.
had to fight people to get that.
Yeah, so she blew right past this guy. She starts attacking Tony. She fights her off to the back. Then the lights go out, and then all of a sudden, Julia Hart is in the ring with Willow, and Sky Blue comes out with the eyes. She turns to Willow, and they make you think she's going to miss Willow and join Julia, but she ends up missing Julia with blue mist. So I don't know what kind of fucking powers that got.
Imagine that reverts her back to the cheerleader gimmick.
Well, I don't think that would be the case. I think Julia might end up as that Smurf cat that I see all over the place. We live, we love, we lie. Anyway,
but just before we go into the next segment, talk more about this. Chris in our chat mentioned this is like I don't see this happening at all. Sky Blue versus Julia Hart. I see that happening. Yes, at Full Gear, probably 0 hour or the buy-in. But he mentions a stipulation: if Sky Blue loses, she must join the House of Black.
Yeah,
I don't see that part
at all.
happening.
And I don't really like how this is played out. Like, this is like a mini story. I know people have been asking for more stories with the women, which I think is fine. But like this mini story, I mean, the eye shit is already kind of hokey. And I think for Julia, like originally when Julia got in, I think it's just a little bit too. I think that was fine for her.
Mm-hmm.
Like back, I think they're just relying. I think it's just too much now. Because it's like I think it's run its course. And Sky. I mean, I think I didn't really want to see Sky Blue in the House of Black anyway, because I think Julia's fine.
Though I do possibly see another turn happening within the story, and I picked up on this. I could just be seeing shit. Maybe Willow turns heel.
I think that would be a fucking egregious mistake.
And you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion for it.
I'm just saying that to me would be such a fucking stupid mistake, because number one, Willow is the top women's babyface. She's not even the champion. And if Tony's technically a heel, I think Willow is the biggest Willow to me, I actually put this comparison together, Teddy. Willow to me is what Bayley was when Bayley was in NXT.
All right, yeah.
The amount of children I've seen that I saw on Halloween that Willow was posting, like little girls dressed as Willow, or they wanted to be Willow for Halloween, or I think just having Willow have like an underdog story to the title, I think that's a lot more effective than having her turn heel, because people. That's the thing. People don't want to boo Willow. Why are you going to force the crowd to boo her when they just want to cheer her and support her?
Well,
I just don't think there's a reason.
They could always do something, like, once again, like, there's always like the aspect of it naturally happening.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. It hasn't, and it's organic.
Yeah.
It's more organic to boo somebody than to cheer somebody. So when you have somebody get cheered pretty universally, like Willow,
yeah,
I don't think it's wise to organically change it. That's why people would, like, when early people were throwing around turning fucking Orange Cassidy heel. I'm like, well, people don't want to boo Orange Cassidy. People love Orange Cassidy. The time is gonna come one day for Willow and Orange to turn heel, but that's not it right now. And I organically like these people. It's like Willow will turn heel one day. Right now is not that time. And we have two babyface women's champions. We have Hikaru Shida and we have Kris Statlander. I think whoever, because since Tony's going to be cheered regardless because her act is so amazing and she is probably the most entertaining woman in the company.
Yes.
But if Tony wins the title back, she's going to end up being a heel. So depending on what happens with Tony and how that character progresses, I wouldn't waste any time having them start building towards, not immediately, because I would have Tony win that title and have Tony keep that title probably for the majority of 2024.
Until Jamie comes back.
Big, well, not even that, just a big majority of 2024. Jamie coming back is gonna make things more interesting too. But I would really build Willow into winning the women's title because she's consistent, she's very good, she's organically liked, she's a great baby face, and I think her as a heel right now is just, I don't think that's wise.
Chris mentions here that they should have kept with Sky Blue turning heel. I think that would have been.
I think that would have. I think that could have been an option. I think that would have been better. That's the other thing too with Sky Blue. She was getting over organically, and she was having great matches, and she was starting to get.
I think even momentum. Still with this aspect of the House of Black thing going on for her, she will still get cheered regardless. If she starts doing like the spooky bullshit, but
we'll see. We'll see. I just don't think there needs to be any types of drastic changes right now because there's obviously we also have women coming back. We have Thunder Rosa coming back soon. We have fucking Jamie Hayter coming back around February. We have the potential of Mercedes Moné coming in when she's done.
Even like when Chris also mentioned that it's still going to happen with Sky Blue. So Sky Blue is still going to turn heel regardless, but like it's. I think
right now, not after this angle tonight, right now.
But even still, like even what you mentioned, we got the women coming back. We got Jamie on the horizon, Thunder Rosa on the horizon. Hell, like when Adam is fully capable of walking around the house by himself. You got Britt on the horizon as well.
Gonna be coming back. It's like I don't think there needs to be anything drastically changed right now, especially something like Willow turning heel. I think that's way too gun. I think that's way too trigger happy.
That's just me though. Mentioning
if you want to introduce another heel that can go, get Athena the fuck off Ring of Honor and put her on television. Athena is top 3 in-ring workers in the women's division in this company. Top 5, top 3 in-ring workers in the women's division. Get Athena. She's doing great shit with Billy Starks on Ring of Honor right now, but get her on fucking television. She's unbelievable. She's great.
Chris also mentions like this is like I'm paraphrasing it. They could do a double turn for Sky Blue though at Full Gear if they're doing her and Julia Hart. They could do a double turn.
If they do her and Julia Hart,
it's possible to do a double turn there.
Yeah, if they even do the match, that's not.
Well, I think it's possible they're doing the match.
We're getting Tony.
But like, remember, this is gonna be like a 0-hour buy-in type deal.
I'm saying we're getting Tony and Sheeta. We're getting probably I don't know. Statlander has been involved with Sky Blue and Willow, and she beat Sky Blue, I believe.
I don't think we're getting Julia or Willow or Sky Blue.
We're not. We just got Chris Statlander and Julia. So it seemed to me like they were building for Sky Blue and Statlander.
Yeah, but that was when Sky Blue was heel, doing like her spooky heel.
Well, she wasn't heel yet. That's the thing. She was going towards the end. She was saying like, "Hey, what the fuck you doing?"
I think putting Sky Blue in that situation after this would be like kind of dumb and killing the momentum that they had going with her in House of Black.
Yeah, I don't really know what the hell's going on here, and that's the thing too. I don't really see the bigger picture in putting Sky Blue in the House of Black.
because it's like I think the House of Black is on a good foundation right now.
I think at least having her team with Julia though.
That's the thing though, but why team with her when there's no women's tag division?
It's just for like those like 1-off or 2-off like women tag matches. I think having
but that's the thing too. But why? She doesn't need help. She already has help with Brody King and Buddy, and unless you want more fodder, it's like I don't really see the point in having Sky Blue join the House of Black when there's other people that you could probably bring in that will probably actually do better.
Oh yeah, no, like I'm not saying you're wrong with that. I'm saying like you gotta like if you're looking at this from the perspective of where they can go, how Julia can fit for this, like you have to think of something and like because I think dropping this whole entire thing was kind of dumb. Because this isn't the first time that they sprayed a woman in the face and they just dropped it immediately.
I think there's a. I mean, I could see a tag match between Willow and Sky versus Julia and somebody else, which I don't know who the fuck that would be. But I don't know how that would go. But
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably something where we just need more context and.
Yeah,
we're just gonna have to see how it turns out.
I do think we're probably gonna get the 0-hour match between Julia and Cheetah, no, Julia and Sky Blue, at maybe at Full Gear.
But yeah, I think they need a lot. They need a lot of cleanup with this storyline.
Yeah, because tonight was a bit messy for like on where we see it going.
A lot of cleanup they need for this one. Yeah. So we'll see.
But okay, next up though. We go backstage, MJF down on his luck, and the Acclaim come up. Excuse me, the Acclaim walk up. Like, Max, seems like you got no one else. If you want to be a part of us, you got to wear this. You have to scissor. And MJF goes, ha! I got one more team. I got one more group I got to ask. But they leave the gear with Max. Max stands up, and who's the last group he has to talk to? It is
Lethal, Jarrett, Satnam, Karen, and Sanjay. And MJF looked at him and he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that shit." And then he looks at the bag, and then they cut away. And yeah, so that brings us to our Rampage lineup.
Yeah, which was done during the main event, by the way.
Yeah, so the Rampage lineup, we have Trent Beretta versus Daniel Garcia, which that should be pretty cool. We have a stunning match, which this is going to be a great showcase of Lucha Libre on fucking Day of the Dead. El Hijo del Vikingo versus Penta El Cerro Miedo versus Commander. That should be a fucking wild matchup.
Oh yeah,
very, very wild matchup.
That was announced last night, and I sent that in the group chat. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild. We also have, I believe, let me see. Oh, Marina Shafir versus Sky Blue. We have that as well, and there's one more that I have this. I believe it's. Fuck. Let me see. Oh, Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal versus the Guns. So yeah, we'll be getting those on Rampage, and on Collision we are getting AR Fox versus Swerve Strickland, and we're getting, I believe, what was the other one?
Just to
Jay White. Oh, not Jay White. It's Darby Allin versus Lance Archer. That should be a very, very good match.
But just to reiterate, Chris had mentioned once again that like Sky Blue, Julia Hart, Full Gear, Sky Blue loses, joins House of Black. I was saying I replied to the comment in the chat by saying, I mean, it's possible. We just have to see how the story plays from here until the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm saying we just have to see how it plays from here until then.
So it's time
for the main event.
And then we had the Bullet Club Gold, Jay White,
the Bang
Juice
Bang
Robinson,
Gang,
Guns versus
No Curblade,
MJF and his partners, who did come out, and it is the Acclaim.
I would love to find out what MJF said. I'm gonna pull up Twitter on my end just to hear if someone posted the clip yet.
So, of what?
Cause remember, like Max's rap got censored out.
Yeah. So
I gotta find that.
yeah. But yeah. So we had the Acclaimed and MJF versus the Bullet Club Gold, and yeah, this is a lot of fun. I was so enamored with the MJF and Max Caster shit, and then Jay White and MJF, that I didn't even fucking realize until halfway through the match. I'm like, holy shit, the Guns are fighting their dad right now on his birthday. Today is actually Billy Gunn's birthday, and he's
Did they
he's
do
fighting
that last year too?
I'm not sure, but that shit was, I didn't even realize that, because literally when you have like family, you really like always group them together. Billy Gunn and the Guns are so distant from each other, they feel like they're not even family, which is pretty funny. So, but happy birthday to Billy Gunn. He turned 60 today. But yeah, this was a very, very fun match. And just a lot of great angle stuff here with Max Caster and MJF getting more comfortable. He came out in the pink trunks, pink boots. He had the Scissor Me shirt on. He did not want to scissor them for the longest time. There was a great hot tag where MJF did nothing but body slams. That was great. Jay White avoided MJF at every turn. Every time MJF tagged in or tried to get offense on him, he immediately rolled out of the ring and avoided him and ran away.
There was an amazing line from, I think, Excalibur here. They were about to do like the first like the scissor thing, but they all got pulled out of the ring. And Taz like, oh, I don't want to see that. Excalibur goes, the only four-way scissor party you want to see is with us and JR. And that popped the entire table.
Yeah.
Shivani lost his shit.
Yeah, so that was cool. But anyway, MJF, yeah, he JY was avoiding him at all turns because obviously it's the pay-per-view main event and they're not going to touch. But the only time the two got a physical is MJF and Jay White rolled in the ring. Jay White immediately hit MJF with the Blade Runner and pinned MJF. He pinned the world champion 1, 2, 3, and the Bullet Club Gold win the match. Jay White pinned the world champion, so he's a lot more credible going into the main event. And he hit the Blade Runner. It's just really showing how dangerous that move is. It took one Blade Runner to put MJF down. So
I'm listening to the rap right now. So
yeah. After that, Jay White took the belt and was going to hit MJF in the head with it, but Max Caster stepped in the way. God. And
it was still bleeped out on AEW's Twitter.
Yeah. Max Caster stepped in the way of the belt shot and basically took the bullet for MJF. As Bullet Club Gold were leaving, MJF tries asking Max if he was okay, and Max went up to put the scissors, and MJF's like, nah, and then Billy Gunn got in MJF's face like, after all he's did for you, you better go fucking scissor him. They didn't bleep that out. He said, you better go fucking scissor him.
Well, and because MJF he didn't have a mic on him, so like no one thought that the cameras would have picked it up.
MJF thought better of it. He got up, he got in the corner, and then they all did his fucking 4-way scissor. And MJF's like, all right. But yeah, that's how they went off the air. To me, this was a all right show. This was a filler kind of setup show for the pay-per-view. This is just one of those shows that you probably not need, but probably going to expect when you're on the road to a pay-per-view. And yeah, it was just kind of filler and just kind of a setup show for angles and stuff that's going to happen on the go-home shows for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the MJF stuff within the show tonight.
I did too. I was happy to be proven wrong. I thought down the line like he was going to somehow side with Roddy and the Kingdom to do the tag team match with them. But hey, I'm happy to be proven wrong. I thought it was gonna happen just so. Because I thought my thought was that Roddy was gonna push this like how Caster was pushing, just to be in Adam Cole's good graces.
Yeah, no, that's what I said earlier. There's like, no way. It's way too early. You got to get this Acclaim stuff done and over with, and then get to it.
And MJF is never gonna see that title again. He's gonna have to beat the hell out of someone.
He's gonna get it back at Full Gear, because that's the angle here.
Well, I think that he's still not gonna get it back in Full Gear.
No, I do, because I think he's done with Jay White and them after this.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I could see that then.
I'm not completely done, because I think Jay White's gonna transition into trying to figure out who the fuck attacked him.
I think that's gonna happen at Full Gear.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that's gonna close out the show. MJF is gonna walk high with the title up in there. He's gonna be at the ramp. Lights are gonna go out. Lights are gonna go on. Whoever they have projected to be the devil, maybe he attacks Jay White. Maybe he attacks MJF. Who knows? That all really depends. But other than that, though, the wrestler of the week for me, I'm going to give it to the Bang Bang Gang. I'm going to give it to the Bullet Club Gold. I'm going to give it to a team. Because the shirt that Mike got me finally came in the mail. So happy. It took several months for me to finally get this shirt from him. Christian, who do you got?
For me, I'll go with I guess for me this week, I'm gonna give it to you know what? I enjoyed it last week, and I think it should be done more. I'm gonna give it a Swerve Strickland for breaking and entering.
That's right. Did you see Hangman's lower third?
Yeah, he needs a better security system.
He needs a better security system.
Done.
All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you next week, where Mike may or may not be here again. Who knows? All right, guys. Thank you all, and good